With me in studios today is Mr. Paul Bukenya, the spokesperson of the Uganda Electoral Commission. You're very welcome again.
Good morning, viewers, and good to be on the program this morning.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy to have you here. We'll just have about two issues to talk about in the next 1 hour that we have. But the most important thing currently is that the by-election in Omoro. We lost Jacob Lokori-Olanya, who was buried on the 8th of April last month, and we now are finding a replacement for that. The election of the member of parliament is not the same as that of the speaker, because we had issues with the speaker, but of course we had to find a speaker. And now we leave the others to NRM, to also find the vice chairperson for northern Uganda. But we now talk about the by-election in Omoro County, in Omoro District. Updates.
Yes, it's true. We have a by-election exercise going on. You know, the law on parliamentary elections says that when a vacancy occurs in parliament, you have to organize and conduct a by-election within 60 days. So we commenced on that program, and we've gone through the preliminaries, the first activities that do take place, like registration of voters. That's what we call the update of the register. You open up again, and then other persons who are not registered before, but they come from the area, or they want to transfer into the area, and it's either their place of origin or their residence, they can do that. So we did that, and we also went through the display of the register, and now we have nominated candidates, and campaigns started off yesterday. So there's now a face event to the election. We now have people whom we can see and say these are candidates. So the program is on, and we're also using the same activity to fill vacancies that are existing in local government councils, still within Omoro. So besides the member of parliament, we're also conducting elections for district woman councillor.
Did you have those vacancies?
Yeah, they were there.
Why?
You know, vacancy occurs, let me first put it in general, vacancy occurs as a result of a resignation, a death, like we had in this case, or court action, or, you know, then it becomes vacant. So we had a resignation and a death.
You had a resignation?
Yes, at local government. So also a death at parliamentary. And so that's why we are organizing parliamentary and local government councils by elections.
At the
and
same
the program
time.
Is on,
and the election will be on the same day?
The same day, yes. Except that those areas which are going to elect the councillors will be the ones with the extra, if you can call it, the extra ballot box. Because local council representatives represent particular areas. So we are electing a district woman representative for Laloji, Lakwaya Electoral Area, which is a sub-county. And so in that particular sub-county, there will be a ballot box for election of member of parliament, and then ballot box for election of the district councillor. Then in a church town council, where we're having elections for male councillor for representing older persons, there will also be a box for that on top of the MP. So that is the arrangement. It will be on the same day. They are all by secret ballot.
Okay, elder persons, who votes for those? Because I think there's also, does a person come to vote for a member of parliament do the same for all those? People need to know.
The councillors representing older persons, of course, have electoral colleges.
Not everybody comes.
So,
Okay, how many do you have for member of parliament or for Omoro County?
The candidates
those that you nominated?
That were nominated are 6. We have 6 candidates who are nominated to contest in this by-election, and they've started their campaigns. We have 2 independent candidates and 4 candidates who were fronted by political parties. If I could go through them, there's Onen Jime Walter, is an independent candidate. Odonga Telens is an independent candidate. Then there's Tolit Simon, National Unity Platform. Kiza Oscar, Alliance for National Transformation. Ojok Andrew Olanya, National Resistance Movement. And Odong Justin, Forum for Democratic Change. So those are the candidates for the parliamentary by-election.
Who was kidnapped on the day of nomination?
I don't know about that. I'm not able to comment about it because I'm not furnished with details. What happens is that when persons aspire and collect nomination forms, we give to any persons who present themselves, and we wait for them to present themselves on nomination day. So a person who picks a form and does not turn up at nomination, we do not follow that one up as Electoral Commission. I think if a case involving kidnap or any other issue like, disappearance or something becomes a matter for police authorities to investigate, not the Electoral Commission. So I don't have details about that. It's a story I read about, and I can't comment further about it.
And I think you've made it very clear. When you give forms to people, you do not coerce them to bring them back.
We don't.
We've seen people come for presidential elections,
sure.
And you have people who show interest go up to about 80. And only 11 come back to say we're the ones. So you don't ask for the 70 plus.
We do not go much into that because someone to aspire to contest is within their right. And sometimes when you open up and say there is a vacancy, you get so many people coming in to collect forms which are free of charge. Of course, it costs money to print them, but then they are even uploaded on the website. So the physical copies that are picked and where we have persons registered in our book, we give them out. So issues around party primaries, who has been approved or who has issues, or if someone has gotten a problem in the process of preparing their candidature, it is a matter then that is taken up by investigating authorities. If we need to be involved, it then goes through again lawful measures. But I don't know. As the Electoral Commission, we do not have particular issues with concerning that matter. We don't have a case that was brought to us as Electoral Commission to handle.
When are the elections?
These elections are going to take place on the 26th of May this month, and that's the date that we gazetted for both parliamentary and local government councils.
Learning from what we had also in Kayunga, when we had that by-election for the district chairperson, in Kayunga, where we had collisions of political parties, all wanting to do their campaigns in the same place on the same day, gazetted in the same areas. Have you harmonized those? Have you done those? And are we about to see another Kayunga in Omoro, or this time round, you think, learning from the past, we will know how to do it better?
We have a harmonized program.
Okay.
And we got all the candidates together. The candidates were nominated. We got them together on Saturday. And we harmonized the program. And by harmonizing, we say each candidate on nomination, they present their draft program. This is where I want to be in Parish A on this day and at this time. So when we bring those programs together, we agree that so-and-so is allocated this particular area on this date and at this time. And that is done to avoid candidates being at the same place, on the same day, at the same time, and their supporters, which sometimes results into raises ugly scenes. You know, this one chanting we are the best and the other one chanting we are the best. They clash and it's potential explosive. That's where we normally get issues. So we harmonized the program and we published it. We came into an understanding with the candidates. This is what we are going to follow. It is a guideline, by the way. It is required by our electoral laws to abide by that. And we also shared it with law enforcement because we work with Uganda police to ensure that there is smooth running of campaigns. There's law and order. Order doesn't go away. Traffic rules remain. Normal responsible conduct remains. So we did that, and we don't expect candidates who have been nominated to risk their candidature or even to expose their supporters to chaotic scenarios by going out of that program. So we are monitoring it, we're enforcing it, and we have the support of the law enforcement agencies.
Did they start campaigns?
The campaign started yesterday officially, 16th of May, and they will go on up to the 24th of May. So those who were ready yesterday and whose program had been harmonized started. The campaigns, as we know them, by that we normally mean the open air meetings, the mass campaigns. Other than that, these other forms of campaigns, sending a message and other ways, yeah, they are on. They're doing that. The
public campaigns I want to talk about. Any specific guidelines for those particular, away from just harmonizing the programs, those other details that everybody needs to observe to ensure that they go through the processes, and in case they flout on them, can you disqualify any now before the 26th?
Yeah, there are guidelines that govern the conduct of campaigns. For example, at the period for campaigns, which we stated, and now we are in that period for campaigns. We also insisted on following the harmonized program. Don't go out to campaign in a particular place which is not assigned to you, allocated to you for that particular day or that particular time, because that will be now disorganizing the program. You are not expected there. You would be there outside that arrangement, and it will. You will not be able to hold that meeting. You will frustrate yourself and expose yourself to unnecessary inconvenience. Of course, we talked about the time for campaigns. There is a time for campaigns, and it is very important in our guidelines that campaigns do not begin before 7. In other words, don't do campaigns in the night. They don't begin before 7, and they don't go beyond 6 p.m. So that is a very, very important guideline to follow, and we want to remind candidates and their supporters and their agents that campaigning outside the official time has been a ground for petitions in courts of law.
Times.
And you don't want to risk your candidate, or because you're out there campaigning, you may win the exercise, and then someone says, and these days, you know, there are cameras, everyone is recording that this person was campaigning outside the campaign time. So don't do that, because it's not allowed. It's not good for all stakeholders. We've guided on the language to use, because campaigns give candidates opportunity to talk to a mass gathering, and then if your language is not responsible, if it is language that incites
full of hate
people,
and incitement,
or you know, falsehoods against others, all that can be used against you, and can be grounds for complaints and even petitions later on. So we've guided that language should be a responsible language that does not incite or abuse or, you know, create divisions in the community. So we've given all those guidelines, of course, to avoid bribery and also to follow traffic rules, because during campaigns people tend to get excited, and then you feel that rory with people. And in these recent weeks we've had stories and reports which are real of accidents that have been happening on some of our roads. We don't want that to happen. We don't want to endanger the lives of people because it's campaign time. There will be tomorrow. Well, what do you want them to do with them? Broken legs and what? So we need to follow traffic rules. We don't allow campaigns in marketplaces, and there are designated places where campaigns can be done. So the guideline is comprehensive enough. And also, on top of that, we've guided that there's still a challenge of COVID-19. So since these are mass gatherings, you know that already the minister has guided that when you're going in a place where there are many people, you still need to put on your mask. It is still very, very important, because you don't know if some people have been vaccinated and all that, and the challenge is still with us of COVID-19.
Okay, very important. How big is the electoral area of Omoro County in terms of what they call parishes and maybe polling stations? Because I'm looking at a scenario where somebody will say, I want to do my campaigns but at parish levels or so to be effective, or I'll even go to villages. Somebody may say my strategy is not to have that big mass gathering, but I want to go to the specific area. So how big is the electoral area of Omoro County? How many polling stations do we have in there?
Omoro County is a fairly small constituency compared with maybe some other places or even constituencies that have islands and you have to cross and go to other places. We're talking about an area with 8 sub-counties.
8 sub-counties.
And, you know, many of them, 37 parishes. We're talking about an area with 84 polling stations. So this is an area that we've sat down and divided. We have 6 parliamentary candidates. Remember, the local government council by-elections are within particular electoral areas. It's a Chet Town Council and then Laloji, Lakwaya electoral area. So we've worked out that program. And those who presented their draft programs have been harmonized. You can go by parish. So then I'm going to go door to door, or I'm going to do a parish by parish. And I don't have the comprehensive program with me here, but I know that we've taken all that into consideration. So even if you are going to do door to door, it must be within a specific particular place at a parish. You can't within a particular day, because we want to know where you are. You know, the candidates, and this is why it is also very important to harmonize the program. The candidates become a responsibility of the Electoral Commission. These are our candidates now. We have to make sure that we nominate them, we know you. We don't want to have a problem where a candidate, the conduct of a candidate, or even can create a situation which frustrates the conclusion of the electoral process. So we have to make sure that candidates we know where they are and how they are moving, and then give them the support, because there's even security. For example, someone who wants to go door to door, you are still going into the community. We want to know where you are. What if something happens to you? So I think that's why we harmonize. It's a small area, and we think that we'll be able to manage that because we've asked for the support from the candidates and the other stakeholders. And of course, working with security, because we want a very secure environment to conduct the by-election. Yeah.
Polling stations?
There are 84 polling stations.
84 polling stations.
In Omoro County. And yeah, that's quite...
And how big is the register?
The register, what we had, we updated the National Voters Register from the last election. We had 48,000. We've gone up to 50,000 voters. So we've finalized the register that will be given to the candidates, I think at the end of this week, to give them all the final details of that.
I was actually going to ask whether you've given it to them, because they keep demanding for this to actually know. How many votes am I looking for from all this register?
They'll be broken down per polling stations, and they will have all that detail with them. Yeah.
Okay, well, very important. And I think what we'll do, we'll just take a break away from Omoro, then continue the conversation with women councils. I think they're also on. What more do you want to say about the by-elections? You've not talked about the candidates for what do they call them? The district woman council.
The local governments.
Yes, for the local governments.
Yeah, we have candidates who are nominated for local governments, and for Aceh Town Council, one candidate was nominated, and so for that matter, Olyema Terence was declared elected and opposed. So we will not have elections in that particular town.
For the male councillor?
Yeah. Because I remember that detail as we went on. Because the only one candidate, Olyema Terence, stand up, this is from NRM, and at the closure of nominations, he was the only candidate duly nominated, so we declared him elected and opposed. The law allows that. So we will have only La Logi and La Kwaya electoral area with local government councils. And we had 5 candidates who were nominated. There is Lalam Florence of the NRM, Laweno Franca is an independent, there is Aneka Christine, Uganda People's Congress.
Okay.
And Ayo Massey is from the FDC, Forum for Democratic Change. And Laboy Margaret, National Unity Platform. So